Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's 5 sons, senior advocate of Zojuria, cannot deliver Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from the hands of ordinary James Omotosho. We have Kanu Agabi in that league, who is former AGF, Attorney General of the Federation of Nigeria, yet they have abandoned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to his fate. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one now that is giving them insight on what to do or how to approach the case. You can imagine that. Somebody who is under captivity. Let me allow you to see this explanation from our brother Chinedu with a stage name, Biafrans in Finland. Please watch this clip and then let me know what you think at the comment section. He made a very, very vital point in his analysis, and I love that. And I also want you to be part of this discussion. Drop your own opinion at the comment section as you're watching. Please, if you never subscribe, endeavor to do that anytime soon. And if subscribe finish, turn on the notification button so that you'll be notified each time we go live or post any new video on this channel. So let's go there and we'll come back for more discussion.
Nnamdi Kanu employed 6 sons, which is senior advocate of Nigeria. He employed 6 of them for the purpose of giving his case some element of respect before the judges and before the prosecution, speeding up justice, and also having the sense of, acceptability. Looking at the caliber of people that he assembled as his team, you will see people from all walks of life and people who are very high in the judicial circle. All this was done to see if he could speed up the administration of justice in his case. That was what he did. And in so doing, he had to let many other lawyers go. Most of these lawyers have also done their bits in the rounds, but it looked as if there was no headway with the way they were going in the past, and he had to employ these senior lawyers to carry on from where they stopped, probably to steer the case the way he wanted, and to add some respect, most importantly, and verve to the case. And also hoping that these new lawyers, who perhaps one way or the other understand the mechanisms of the Nigerian government and the Nigerian institutions and the Nigerian judiciary and how it works, the workings in and out, will be able to manipulate their way through for Nnamdi Kanu, thereby giving him speedy justice and blocking out any unfavorable, judgment from the court, and also alerting Nnamdi Kanu on any games they are playing behind his back. But so far, these 6 sons have not given us what we want, one way or the other. I'm not saying that it's in their hands to give judgment, but at least when it comes to also raising alarm when things are going wrongly, they have not lived up to expectations, and that is the least of the things we desire from them. To do as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did. Because so far, it looks as if in all these changes, it is the one that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did by himself that is working so far, which is ensuring that Justice Binta Nyako was changed in the first place to another judge. He fought for that change. And likewise, that is the way I expect the lawyers to also fight for this justice, even inside the court and outside the court. An advocate is an advocate, be it inside the court and outside the court. Because since the last court case, we have not even heard a word from them, knowing that this case is a high caliber case. Also, Justice Omotosho, obviously, as you can see, is working for his paymasters, the Nigerian government. If not, tell me, Kanu Agabi himself is even a more, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kanu Agabi himself is a senior lawyer to Omotosho. A much more senior lawyer to Omotosho, if I'm wrong. Because Agabi was a former Attorney General many years ago. And look at his face, you can see that he's even much older than Omotosho, who is, of course, in his late 50s to early 60s. So Agabi is a senior lawyer, and as such should not be afraid of anything that goes on behind our back. He should not be afraid of speaking up when things are not going in the favor or when there is a rigmarole somewhere here and there. He should not be afraid to talk to Omotosho face to face and tell him, Oga, this thing you are doing is not the right pattern. Or is Agabi telling me today that everything Omotosho is doing is according to the law? Because I have done a video here before listing out the illegalities Omotosho has done so far. Key of which, there is no place in Nigerian constitution that grants a judge any power to adjourn case indefinitely or more than a stipulated period of time, mostly when it comes to accelerated trial or criminal cases in the Nigerian Criminal Justice Act. So having said that, it is painful to see people who were brought in for a very strong reason giving us more reasons of why we should have stuck with the old guard instead. With all due respect to who they are and what they have done so far in their careers, whatever you have achieved in your careers has nothing to do with the next case. Because of course, like sports or like in football, it's always about the next match or about the next battle. So this Nnamdi Kanu's case is different from whatever achievement you all have achieved in life. And it will be very wrong of you to heap your stars, to heap yourself that you are this and you have done that. Do this now, let us see. Do it now, let us see. Because things have changed. Obviously, you know the system. So do not allow yourself to be moved. Do not allow yourself to be bullied by the same system that you know. If not, it will be a waste of resources paying people who do not behave like as if they understand what is going on. It's very funny because as we speak right now, the Nigerian Bar Association are having a very big conference in Nigeria. Of course, in Enugu State, to be precise.
Still with great honor and joy at this opening ceremony of the Nigerian Bar Association Annual General Conference here in the historic and lively city of Enugu. Enugu is fondly referred to as the Coal City. It is a treasured trove of history, culture, and natural beauty. It is a city built on hills and surrounded by crouching hills. Breathtaking waterfall, intriguing caves, scenic beauty, and some of the best local eateries for serving Oba, Abacha, Achicha, Fio, and many other local delicacies. Of course,
they are having a big conference. And I wonder what will be the topic of discussion in this Nigerian Bar Association conference. Because the injustices going on in Nigerian legal system alone, the corruption going on in Nigerian system alone, judicial system alone, is enough topic for them to be used in this year's NBA conference. I am telling you, it's enough topic. The insecurity going on in the southeast and the injustice going on in Biafra land is enough topic to be discussed in NBA conference. Also, the chairman of the NBA is an Igbo man. Of course, Mr. Osigwe himself. And I believe that as an Igbo man, he should use his platform now to draw attention to the plight of the aggrieved, of the disenfranchised in Nigeria and Igbo, to be precise. Because it's not when a Yoruba man becomes chairman of NBA or a Hausa man becomes chairman of NBA, you will start expecting them to use their office to draw their attention. That is how Nigeria works. Whoever is in charge should take care of his people. Also, I'm saying this because the injustice going on in Nigeria is too much. And the caging of Igbo in Nigeria is too much. The betrayals, the attacks by Fulani herdsmen who are sent to the bushes of the southeast to kidnap and operate and steal land is hard to bear. People are being pied every day. People are being molested every day in the bushes. So this conference should be a wonderful place to discuss such, because as lawyers, your job is to provide justice, should provide concern, should raise, topics that benefit, the democracy itself that you find yourself into, failure of which you can't even administer justice itself in the first place. This man was invited to NBA conference, Mr. Julius Malema, the leader of the EFF of South Africa, the Economic Freedom Fighters. That is the EFF. It's a political party in South Africa and a movement also. They are always pressuring, the leading power itself. They are the opposition party in South Africa that are always, putting pressure on the government in power at all times. They are a popular party. Julius Malema, you will know him very well. He was invited for the NBA conference, of course, as the keynote speaker. And in his speech, he said clearly that he is looking forward and supporting an Africa where we have one single president, an Africa with one single president, an Africa with one single currency, and an Africa with one single border. They will not have multiple borders, just round, not just no borders. An Africa with no borders. That means he's saying a one and United States of Africa. Exactly the same thing that Muammar Gaddafi of Libya asked for. And I ask myself, and I ask Julius Malema, what kind of Africa will you have if the greatest tribe in Africa, the Jews of Africa, the most industrious and powerful tribe of Africa that will drive the Africa mission, the Africa vision to a success, what will happen to that Africa if that tribe is slaves in Nigeria? Because there will be no progress in Africa if the Igbo man is still a slave. If the Igbo man is still living disenfranchised, has not yet emancipated, is still living in peanuts, is still begging, is still living in borders in his own country, there will be no Africa if Igbo is not free. What kind of Africa would that be? So I'm posing this to Julius Malema. You should push rather for indigenous tribes to break free from the shackles of their masters. Because in Africa, we are still living under colonial masters' indirect rule through other tribes suppressing the others. And until the Igbo man is free from this, Africa cannot move forward. You see Nigerians, South Africa, you see Nigerians there that are doing well, pushing your economy, you think that they're Nigerians. They are Igbos who are doing it. Go to African countries, around African countries, you see Nigerians who are living there, who are boosting the economy of Ghana, of Kenya, of Mozambique, of South Africa, of Egypt, they are not just Nigerians, they are Igbos. So don't misunderstand yourself when you see progressive Nigerians, you say Nigerians are progressive. It is Igbo who are actually the progress of Nigeria itself in the first place. And you will never get the best out of Africa if Igbos do not have their own country. Julius Malema, you need men like you to push this drive forward. And Nnamdi Kanu is exactly like you. This is a man who is built the way you are, who speaks the way you speak, who is as confident as the way you are confident, and believes in the ideas of freedom and pan-Africanism the way you believe. It's only proper if you fight and add your voice to the freedom of Nnamdi Kanu, which I know that by now you know that he is in shackles in this Nigerian state. I would have loved you to also mention it in your speech to draw attention to the injustice happening in Nigeria. But obviously, I know that you will not want to, offend the conference who have in attendance Nigerians from all walks of life. And definitely, you may have also been told, to guard some statements, not to make inflammatory statements that will, cause disaffection. I understand you, I understand. But that's what I'm saying. There is no one Africa without one Igbo independent. It can't happen. Even if it happens, that will be a backward Africa, an untapped Africa. Because the strength of Nigeria is in the Igbo, and the strength of Africa is the Igbo, and the strength of the world, Igbos are among the Chinese, the Indians, the Jews, and the Igbos, definitely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Igbos falling. Google it and find out. This is not to say other tribes are not good or bad, but when you are a tribe that you allow yourself to be subservient to the British, you can never grow. The secret of Igbo success is their unbowed, unbended nature and the ability to believe in themselves and their republican nature. They are independent of themselves. This is a rallying cause to tell Omotosho, to tell Nigerian government to release Nnamdi Kanu today. Release him today. And I'm also telling the lawyers, this is the end of the case. On 10th of October is the end of the case. He becomes a political prisoner. Stop defending him. Because the more you defend Nnamdi Kanu, the more he is a defendant to a crime. That is exactly how it is, and that is the politics involved. So stop defending Nnamdi Kanu so that he automatically is seen as a political prisoner the way it should be. A man held without defense. A man that is in prison without defense for 6 years. Yes. Abandon the case on the 10th. Just hands off if they refuse to set him free. Or if he postpones that case again. Because it was very clear that the last time they were in court, Buhari died, and of course they postponed the case for whatever reasons they wanted, to mourn Buhari or whatever. That is their business. But on 10th of October is the day we're waiting for. And I know, God willing, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be free. For us family around the world, we are a family of truth. We are a family of purpose, and we are a family of faith. And with faith, we can move all mountains. Like, share, subscribe to my channel, turn on notification, select the bell that says all. I have been your host, Chi.
This is a very, very touching message and a touching story. You know, when I watched the analysis of Chinedu, my brother, they said, we always said, there's an adage we always use in Igbo land. They said, Uche na abia abia. I wouldn't have done better than what this guy have done. Yes, I throw away salute for Chinedu. He is really indeed doing a marvelous work for the Biafrans, both home and abroad. All the whole points he listed out on this video is exactly what is happening. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been abandoned. The lawyers are not doing anything. If not that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu pushed for Injustice Binta Iyako to recuse herself, by now we will still be in that same level, dragging when to hold the case and when not to hold the case. If not for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's uproar, the idiot that they call Omotosho wouldn't have come out and tell the whole world that the case have lingered for 10 years. So he wants an accelerated hearing. Since March, now we are in August, heading to September. Before October, then when they will hear the case, imagine telling us they are going for holidays. Or rather, telling the whole world that they're going for holidays. Nnamdi Kanu should die and go to hell, that they don't care. We are going on holidays for 4 good months. It's July 18. And we have lawyers. The reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu hired 6 sons is not for them to go there and be holding a discussion that is not producing any result. It's for them to let that so-called Omotosho that Ndigbo nwere mmadụ. But at the end of it all, what comes out of it? Nothing. Including having an old man as old as Kanu Agabi, who is also a former Attorney General of the Federation. Does it mean that these people, they don't know their left from their right? Or are they really playing to the gallery of their paymasters? Because to me, personally, I'm not a lawyer and I have no issue with them, the way they handle the case. But I'm saying my own opinion. To me, these people have been compromised. To me, all of them have been compromised. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is only standing on his own. They have 6 sons. But the other day, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu want to file a case, defamation case, against the Commissioner of Police, Aboki Danjuma in Imo State. Then they have to use an esquire, which is Maxwell Opara, to go and file the case. I don't really understand what is happening in this case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't really understand. Today, good news. Next day, another different scenario. But one thing is for sure, the world is watching. And my happiness is that the world have taken over the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The Pan-Africa have taken over the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even the European Union now are still looking for a way to take over the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu after the landslide victory that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu secured in a Kenyan court. If we are waiting for all the whole sons Nnamdi Kanu have gathered, my brother, this Nigerian government have hit them with offer they will never say no. The money that is owed, that is enough to settle their old age. Do you know where you need money most? Is when you get old, not at this your young age itself. Yes, you may need a little money at a young age because the firewood which you gathered at your young age is what you are going to use when you get old. So the money you are gathering at your young age is what you are going to use to take care of your old age. So these guys now They have given them enough money that in their old age they will never regret anything. If they are sick, they can fly themselves to any hospital in the entire world to go and treat themselves. Even at old age, they don't want to die. Are you hearing me now? Where is the whereabouts of Tinubu? Nobody knows. Tinubu is receiving treatment in France, and they told us they went to Brazil. So the whole of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's, both Esquires, both Chajambelo, both Sans, both the one that is a former AGF, all of them have been compromised. Nnamdi Kanu have been abandoned to his fate. The same way the whole politicians in the southeast abandoned him. When you talk about some politicians, they will tell you politicians have no any say on the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That Tinubu can release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if you wish to. And when I look at those people, I laugh. Forgetting that the governors have power more than the president. President is one. If the whole 36 governors gang up against the president, he will be impeached. So before he do anything on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he must inform the governors from the southeast. How far should I release this young man? They will tell him no. He called on the meeting of the elders. Should I release this young man? They will tell him no. He called on the ex-governors. Should I release this man? They will tell him no. Then what do you want Tinubu to do? To kill himself? It seems like you people don't understand politics. That was why somebody will come and tell you, no, Tinubu cannot. Tinubu can release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu if he wishes. He don't want to release him because it's an Igbo man. It's a Yoruba man. Let's go back to what Chinedu said in this video now. Let's go back to what Chinedu said. We have the MPA president, Abi chairman. Osigwe is an Igbo man. They are having a conference in Enugu State that none of them will ever to present any issue that is related to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But when Osigwe go out there now, and another Yoruba will take over, they will begin to blame them. And they are playing politics because the Nnamdi Kanu is not a Yoruba man. That was why the NBA chairman could not look his way. Tell me any Igbo man who have hold any political position nationally that have used it to the interest of his own people. Tell me, just mention one person, and I will mention 1,000 that have used their position against the Igbos. Now we will come out now to complain that they never give us now we are now having a Senate president. When Okadibo was president, what is Okadibo his office to do? He abandoned the southeast, buying thousands of cows each time the northerners are doing a salah and giving it to them. His own side, nothing. Still being killed by his own kinsman to take over. When Pius and Pius was there, what did they achieve? What one thing he can achieve? Tell me he achieved for the Igbos? Nothing. What about Ken Namani? What about Ike Kuremado? Rotimi Amechi, or whatever he called himself, an Ikwere man who is also an Igbo, was a minister of works for 8 years under Buhari. Tell me one road that man completed in the southeast. Goodluck Jonathan was a president. Tell me one thing Goodluck Jonathan did to the southeast, the Igbos. Now we have Minister of Works who is busy building all the whole road because he is building bridges for tomorrow. He want to become a president. Oil producing nations, all their road is not motorable. But go to the north. The lowest village in the north have a functioning tide road that you can even spend complete whole year that no any car follow that road, if not only motorbike and cows. Now, Minister of Works will come from your own backyard. Now they do that one. Tomorrow now will be the one now to cry that they have abandoned us. For marginalization, I'm not saying they are not marginalizing us. That one is sure. But we first marginalize ourselves before they marginalize us, because almost all of us that have had different positions that so be to beneficial to the southeast, all of them have used it for their own political gains. Nothing more and nothing less. Just to please their paymasters. And that is what we keep getting every now and then. Anyway, my wonderful people, let me not waste much of your time. Now here I go take a break. I will not read any comments. If you want comments, please comment on this video. Let me know what you think over what I said and the one Chinedu said, and what you should think on your own self. That's it. So as you do that, may the Almighty God continue to bless you, prosper you, and meet you at the point of your need. Make sure that this message, it goes viral. I, Ukulora, one Natia, will always be here to serve you better, and that is my primary duty. It shall be well with you as we are about to navigate from this old month. The new month will be successful for all of us. And we're waiting for good news on the case of Simon Ekpa, September 5th, according to the information reaching us here. So have a nice day, and may the Lord be praised. Amen and amen.